Hey, what's up? And it must be a full moon or something because I've got everybody in here at the same time. And even Mooch, he's come off his high horse to join us for an actual podcast for the first time in like 2 weeks. So we're glad to have Mooch back. We got Blackie Lebowski, we got Blazing Phoenix, we've got Iron Wolf, and we got the Mooch, and I'm the Crap Gamer, and hopefully we're going to have a lot of good topics that you guys are going to like tonight. So we're going to keep it Xbox. First thing I want to talk about a little bit is
we're going to talk about Halo 5. Halo 5 is amazing. You know, Blackie Lebowski sitting over here excited.
Oh, you want to talk? You're excited about Halo 5.
Yeah, you cut out like completely, bro.
Yeah, we lost you, Crap. That's why.
Yeah, we lost you for like 5 seconds, so Blackie just jumped in.
All right, yeah, good stuff, because my computer messes up sometimes. But if that ever happens, you guys just jump right in. But anyway, yeah, what I was going to say is we're going to talk about some bundles and Halo 5 and all this good stuff. Blackie, you said you're really excited about Halo 5, man. Why don't you tell me what you're really looking forward to?
Well, you know, like it was 2004. Halo 2 was really big. It was November, and this time of year, like I just have this memory set, and just I don't know, man. Just this time of year comes around, and whenever a Halo game drops, it's always around October, November, it's just something I've just loved, man, since 2004 to 2015. This is how long this franchise has been around, and it's really hard to really come up with the words because it's that damn epic. The duality between like Master Chief and Spartan Locke, I just can't wait for the story. Even though I don't even know what's going on in Halo, but this game has like intrigued me to pay attention to that. And
what do you guys think about the? I don't know if you're like me. I've been a Halo fan since the first. I love Chief. I think he's the most well put together character in gaming right now. With the rumors of him possibly dying off and things like that, I was kind of pissed off. I was like, this has got to be some kind of bullshit. You know what I mean? Like Master Chief. Yeah, like me, like I'm like seriously, man. Like I don't mind other characters or doing spin-offs and stuff, but man, you got to keep Master Chief in it, man. You got the voice actor saying, "Oh, it's been a nice run." You know what I mean? Like signing off. You know what I'm saying? Like he's done or whatever, man. I don't really necessarily believe that. So what are your guys' thoughts on that?
I think he's just doing this to like get people hyped for the game, to buy him. Like, oh, is he gonna die? Is he? Maybe he's not gonna die. Is he gonna die? I don't think they could kill him. That's crazy. That's like he's the main character. I don't mind like they blow his arm off or he could lose a hand or an eye. I don't mind that, but
yeah, you can maim Master Chief, but just don't kill him off, right?
Kill him.
Well, I'm coming into this completely blind, but what I'm hoping this whole Locke and Chief thing ends up being a lot like this Batman versus Superman. Basically, two good guys, right? So you're really torn. I know you have one favorite. Like I'm leading a little bit more Crap because this is the genre we all grew up with, where Chief was there. Where now they're going to try and grab a little bit more of a new audience with Locke, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But what I'm saying is, I hope it's a little bit of that Batman versus Superman, where no matter who's doing what to who, you're enjoying it because it is for the ultimate good. I mean, Locke's not necessarily bad. He's just following orders. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, there's a certain dynamic there. That I think is I hope, and literally I'm coming into this blind. There's a lot of times that, especially with the internet now, if I see the word spoiler or I see anybody start to talk about anything that I may even think is, I just ignore it and I don't read it because I want to kind of enjoy it as it goes into it. So I'm hoping as we play the game, and my God, it's only 3.5 weeks away. That's ridiculous. But like we get that kind of contrast between the two, so that it's fun that we're building up this Chief versus Locke. But I'm hoping it's at the end of the game you actually leave enjoying both characters equally. That's what I'm kind of hoping.
Yeah, I agree with you, Mooch. And you know this commercial that we saw on Sunday about Chief dying.
Hey Wolf, I see you got Team Locke though as your avatar. What the hell?
I don't know, man. I just want to go for the underdog this time, man. I've always been that way, man.
Dude, man.
Yeah, but me personally, when I saw that commercial, all I saw was this pure excitement, and at the same time, it's a smart way to, show your game, and people are gonna buy that game based on that commercial because now people are gonna know, is he really gonna die? You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, when you think about it, Chief, he was in space. He fell from space. He landed on Earth in Halo 3. if he can land on Earth on Halo 3 and still be alive, how can he be dead with a statue just falling on his head? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That don't make no sense.
Yeah, the coolest part,
I
man,
agree.
it's 11 years, in the making for an exciting game, and the multiplayer, the community, all that is coming together again. It's that time of year. The leaves are changing, and it's just perfect for me, man.
Yeah.
It's really
You know what the good thing about Halo games are that they aren't annualized. You know what I mean? This is actually only Master Chief's 5th outing. You know what I mean? In 10 years, that's not bad in my opinion. You know, you're giving the people what they want. They've done some other stuff. You know, like with the RTS Halo Wars or with ODST, which was very different, or Reach, which was a different story. And I like that because you're keeping Halo fresh. But Master Chief himself, this is only his 5th outing in 10 years, and I think that's or actually, wait, no, hold on, in 14 years?
Yeah.
Is that right? What, 2001?
Yeah.
Yes.
14.
So 14 years. Yeah. So yeah, I think that I think that that's definitely something to keep in mind. Like when people say, "Oh, well, it's milked, it's just Halo," they take their time. This has been 3 years plus in the making. Even when Halo 4 came out, 343 started Halo 4 at the same time that Bungie was doing Halo Reach, so that had plenty of development time, and you know that that it's going to be good. I think that Halo is one of those rare games that's both good online and with the campaign. The story is just phenomenal, and that kind of leads me into my next subject, which is, I don't know if you guys have played the Rainbow Six Siege beta or heard the news, but that game is going to be $60. It's multiplayer only. They cut out the single player, and if you guys played Rainbow Six Vegas 1 and 2, you'll notice that those had co-op campaigns. You know what I mean? They were fun. They had good multiplayer, and now that they're cutting out half of that but still going to charge you full $60, what are your guys' thoughts on that? That's happening a lot this generation, where we're only getting either all multiplayer or all single player, and they're still charging you $60 or sometimes more. If you look at like Batman Arkham Knight, I love that game, but they wanted to charge you $60 for the game and then $40 for a season pass, so $100 for a game with no multiplayer. What do you guys think about that?
There's a good side to that, but let me explain the good side to it first. First of all, it's using the Microsoft Azure servers. It's going to have dedicated servers. Bad side, obviously, no campaign, and obviously the fact that it's going to be 900p. Although we're going to get the better frame rates than the PS4, but lazy developers yet again, man. What can I say?
Yeah, I don't think the game should be full price. If we can have the content, maybe $30, $40. Because me personally, I wasn't going to buy Rainbow Six because I was more excited. I wish they would have made Vegas 3. Because I like the third-person cover. It gave me like more tactical options. But the beta was fun. So I don't know. I might get it when it's a deal. Like we could get it $40, but I'm not going to buy it day one.
Well, here's what I'm thinking. I agree with both of you guys. And this is where if Phil Spencer or Aaron Greenberg is listening, you really should hire me. I would actually hop on this as an opportunity. I see this as a golden ticket for Microsoft. The first thing I would do the minute that was advertised, 2 seconds later you would have seen something come out of my office at Microsoft that says, are you getting just the campaign on Rainbow Six? Because if you are, with Xbox One, you're getting the 2 backwards compatibility with it so that you can enjoy the campaigns up to the multiplayer, and really run with it so that you're actually giving the customer the campaigns that they may want to play or that they remember so fondly. And they're giving it to them for free. So whether you own the game or not, you're going to own the game. I think that's fantastic. Myself personally, just now me being me and not talking about the marketing side of it, I think that I'm not interested in this game. I got codes to play. I gave them away. For some reason, I don't like the whole evolve. I call it the evolve mentality, and that's these games are cool, man. And there's no doubt that maybe I do want to watch one of you guys play if you Twitch out, and I'll definitely check it out, or do it on YouTube or something like that. Yeah, I would check it out. But my point being is that when you get down to it, there's got to be a level of multiplayer where when I play the game, the team can only help me and not just only hurt me. This game looks so like it has so much strategy to it that if you're playing with, and you guys know this, everybody on this panel knows this, everybody listening, there's a lot of players that are good and there's a lot of players that are okay. And if you're playing with, you get stuck with, let's say, Blaze, you and Wolf play, and all of a sudden you got, two guys that are just okay, you're constantly going to lose that mission. You know what I mean? And that's going to deter you from putting the game back in. That's what happened to Evolve. You needed someone to capture the monster, someone to put it to sleep, someone to beat up the creatures around you while one shot it. And if one person's not on tune with that, the
Yeah,
game's
it's all over.
dead. You know what I'm saying? So like that's my whole thing with this game. It's not discrediting it. It's just that it's going to be. I think what'll happen is after about a week, it'll become very niche with a small group of people. But I really think Microsoft should smarten up right here and advertise the piss out of the fact that they're going to give you 2 free games that have the campaign, so that you feel like you're getting a lot more for your $60.
Yeah, you know what? I played the beta. It's fun, but it doesn't look super next gen to me. I don't know. That could
Like a
just be because it's
360.
a. Yeah, you know what? It doesn't look that great. And remember they were gonna do Rainbow Six Patriots or something like that. That looked really good. We saw that a few years ago, and then they canceled it, and that looked next gen to me. And then what I'm seeing here, it looks almost like like you said, a 360 game. It's only multiplayer. You know, Battlefront. That's a game that I'm looking forward to, and I know that those are traditionally multiplayer games, but not to have a campaign is almost a sin in my opinion. Imagine if Microsoft were out there saying, "Okay, we're going to give you Halo. It's going to have multiplayer but no campaign, or we're going to give you Gears multiplayer but no campaign." I like both. I always jump into the Halo campaign first. I always jump into the Gears campaign first. I might be in the minority, but I always jump into the Call of Duty campaign first. You know, that's how I play games. And to me, this next generation so far, we're getting mostly a lot of remasters, you know what I mean? A lot of remakes, a lot of like games that don't require a whole lot of power, you know, with the indies and stuff, you know, and then they're cutting out stuff that we got standard last gen, which was a campaign in an online mode. You know, why is that? To me, it's just like gamers should be pissed off about this. Like I am, you know what I mean? Like you don't seem.
I feel like they would. I feel like a lot of gamers would be crap. I don't feel that way at all because the exclusive games that I do have. I don't want to come off like a fanboy, but I really feel like when I get Halo here in a few weeks, this is going to be something that I'm going to play until Halo 6 or whatever next big game comes out. That's going to be there. Forza is going to be there. Gears of War is going to be there. So I get really excited about those games months beforehand. So, like Mooch, Rainbow Six is not even a fucking blip on my radar whatsoever. It's just not.
I feel sorry for the Sony fans. They have nothing to play.
That's the only thing they have. So imagine you don't have Halo coming here in a few weeks, and you don't have a Forza, and I mean, I don't know because I have an Xbox One, but I try to put myself in that position of, you know, thinking, what if, you know, these multi-platform AAA games was the only thing I was looking forward to, and it'd be fucking miserable. I'm sorry to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the good side to it is that they're using Microsoft servers for Rainbow Six Siege. Now we need more third parties to jump on board with this because, you know, everybody's using, you know, I mean, their own servers. Like Activision, they'll be using their own, you know, hybrid crappy servers. Then you have EA. EA will be using their own Origin servers, which is completely dog shit. And, you know, we need these kind of publishers jumping on board using these Microsoft servers. They're there. They're available for free. I don't get it.
Yeah. I think Microsoft should try to make that mandatory. You know how Sony be pushing the 1080p? Microsoft should try to push the dedicated servers. Like, if you're going to make a multiplayer game, it has to have dedicated servers.
Yeah, and I'm going to look at, you know, the Xbox One version of Rainbow Six Siege as the definitive version because it's an online-focused game and it's going to have dedicated servers. Now, who would want to play Rainbow Six Siege on PSN? You know that's just it's gonna always like go down all the time. What's the point?
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree with you. I agree with you. And what do you guys think? Like, did you hear Yoshida's comments, right? He was basically saying PlayStation 4 owners have a lot of stuff to play this holiday, and he goes on to name a bunch of shit that's on Xbox One as well. Yeah. So the whole time I'm sitting there thinking, okay, he's doing a good job of pimping these games that are going to be on Xbox One as well. You know what I mean? But he's doing you know, for his own brand, because you can play all the stuff he mentioned, which was Battlefront, Call of Duty, Metal Gear Solid. You know what I mean? He mentioned all this stuff, right? But all that stuff is on Xbox One and so much more as well. You know what I mean? So I think that he's really kind of turning into almost a Don Matrick of PlayStation, because he's really helping out the competition at this point, and and it's becoming increasingly noticeable, I think, to some people. I've seen a little bit of discord. Have you guys noticed that? Like, normally the PlayStation fans are all like, no, PlayStation's better and it's this. They aren't even trolling right anymore. Like today, someone sent me a troll attempt and it was so lame. I mean, I blocked the guy. Usually I humor him for a little bit, but I was just like, I'm just gonna block it. This is such a sad attempt at trolling. I mean, I can't deal with it. Like, they're so out of touch lately. But I'll also say this: they've actually come out and said, "Hey, we're getting shitty PSN Plus games now. Where's our exclusives?" You know what I mean? They're picking up on this as well. That's my hope in the long run. I mean, what do you guys think about Yoshida's comments about they're going to have games to play, and he goes on to mention the multi-platform games and then like these little indie games and shit. What is your guys' thoughts on that?
I do want to comment on that because I was just writing something down about it. So who does Yoshida think he's actually talking to? I mean, because a lot of times on these podcasts, we all know that we're pretty much talking to the hardcore folks most of the time. Like, people that are tuning into Crap's channel are generally hardcore. There's a couple casuals, but for the most point, they're hardcore gamers. Who does Yoshida think is reading his quotes? Like the GOP debate crew? Like my point being is that he says these things like, you know what I mean? Like, he says this shit like, oh, well, look what we have coming. We've got Assassin's Creed, and there's Star Wars Battlefront, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm reading his quote, and I'm like, but all of that's coming to Xbox. Where is it that you're promoting your brand? Like, I don't. Whenever you watch anything in the world, like tonight, when you guys are watching TV or anyone listening to this podcast, listen to the commercial and see who their competitor is. Whoever's on the television advertising is telling you something that the competition doesn't have. He got on and said everything that the competition will have to a T. And then he goes one step further and said, honestly, the consumer's not looking for first-party games. Who the fuck are you talking to, man? I mean, are you kidding me? Like, that's the only thing that differentiates you. Like,
that's crazy.
There's nothing, you know what I mean? Like, when you watch McDonald's commercials, they're talking about Big Macs, all right? They're talking about the McGriddle, because you can't get that shit at Burger King. You know, they're not talking about a cheeseburger. Everyone's got that. You know, like, you gotta look. You know, when Reebok was promoting their sneakers, they were talking about the pump, because Nike wasn't doing that shit. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta look at what it is that you're doing. When Phil Spencer gets on, or Xbox execs talk, Mike Ibarra's talking about new UI, okay? Yosef Mehdi's talking about Halo launch. Phil Spencer's talking about new controller and new IP. So you've got new, only, exclusive. That's what Microsoft's pushing out. They don't feel the need that they have to advertise the Star Wars and the Metal Gears. They're of course they're coming. They know that everybody pretty much knows that. Now, I mean, the Don Matrick rule is Sony kind of course Sony took their playbook and they're running with it. I mean, here's the thing. If anyone's going to sit here and tell me, well, Mooch, you're full of shit because if it worked for 360, it'll work for PS4. It will, but then again, if you're going to say that, then I'm just going to tell you that last generation, they both ended up with 90 million consoles sold, so we're going to be at the same number, right?
Yeah,
so,
but the PlayStation fans complained and bitched and cried about it, saying Microsoft should be investing that money into exclusives, not timed content, not this, not that. Maybe so it's like there's such a double standard. The goalpost move. It all depends on who's saying what. But Yoshida is so out of touch with gamers, right? Remember when he said earlier, I don't understand gamers who only like AAA games, right? I mean, it's like there are gamers that only like those big AAA games. Like for me, I won't waste my time on like some of that stuff for longer than 5 minutes. You know what I mean? And usually we'll only get it if it's free with like games with gold or what have you. You know what I mean? Like, that stuff's not why I buy new hardware. You know, why would I spend, it was like $500 for the Xbox One. You spend $400 on the PS4, although I didn't pay that much. And then you've got over $1,000 worth of hardware. I didn't buy that hardware to play Super Meat Boy, and you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, I just didn't do it. Or soccer cars. I'm not spending that money to buy those to play those type of games. Who would? Who the hell would?
Well, traditionally,
answer me that. Who the hell would? Go ahead.
As Sony traditionally, right, Crap, they're a hardware company, okay? And so you can, give them some slack on the games. But I got this tweet was mentioned earlier, and some PS4 fans, I mean, they're pissed off. They're saying the 3.0 firmware is a joke. I mean, you look at the list, You can't pin or unpin items. You can't turn the light bar off the controller. You can't make yourself appear offline to customers. You can't change PSN ID. Like, this thing is really behind the curve. And whenever you go to translate that to games, they're still going to be behind the curve. And this is something that it's ongoing, it's continuing, and I don't see it changing anytime in the near future because, like I said, we got this amazing time coming up where everybody, whenever we get off this podcast tonight, you go on your Xbox Live, you jump in a party, people are going to be talking about Halo 5. They're amped up. Like, this shit is awesome. And here you are, okay, and you have these problems that I just listed. They have a new UI rolling out. There's some bugs. They're fixing some bugs, and they're doing it the right way, you know, giving it out to certain people. You have the new controller. You have, you know, a Halo. You have the games next year. And it's Shuya Yoshida is a fucking joke. Like, the PlayStation 4, it's to me, and it's really hard to say this, to not be call it a fanboy or be labeled something, but it's just a joke when you compare it to what's going on and what other people are doing. It's just, to me, it's crazy.
Yeah, because the Sony fans always say, look what Phil Spencer said. Look what Phil Spencer said. But whenever Yoshida says something, they don't take him at his word. He said it multiple times. You know, the cost of AAA exclusives are getting more expensive. He keeps saying that they're not going to have that many AAA exclusives because most of them don't sell. So you should take him at his word. The PS4 is not going to have as many exclusives as the PS3 had.
You're right, because he said it himself. You know, only 3 out of 10 sell. And on top of that, right, it's a casual station. It's a fact. Not even Casual Rice said it himself in many E3s.
It's a money situation, Wolf. It's just a money situation. And that's what I always bring it back to. It's like they're a former shadow of themselves. Okay, like, they're not doing Walkman and Discman days. Like, this shit is bad. Like, they made a lot of bad choices. The PSP Go, like, that one device. How much R&D do you think went into that stupid piece of shit? And what are the other things that we've heard in the last year or two? It's like, why is this money not being spent on games? And I'm saying, it's like they're struggling, man. It's like a fish flapping out of water. They don't know what to do. It's like, make the games. Like, people are still holding on to the nostalgic thing because of the games they had at one point. You know what I'm saying? It's like, go back to that.
Yeah, but Blackie, all they want to do is make gimmicks. You know what I mean? They tried it with the Move controllers. Now they're trying it with Project Morpheus. Look, Kaz Rice said it himself in many E3s ago. He tried to say that, look, we're looking to make our core audience the casual audience. Yeah. The casual gaming market. He wants to make his core market the casual gaming market. And look what he's doing. It's working. That was his vision, and now it's working.
Yeah, you can see Phil Spencer trying to get the Xbox back to how it was with the OG Xbox days, because the Xbox was more focused towards hardcore gaming. Then during 360, it kind of got a little more casual focus. They still had hardcore games, but now it seems like Xbox One is really going after the hardcore gamer. And Sony keeps saying they're for the gamer, and they have no games coming on the horizon besides Uncharted, and that looks pretty lackluster. I was never a big Uncharted fan. The first one was okay, but it was never as good as Tomb Raider. Then Horizon, I already know that's going to suck. It's made by Guerrilla Games, so you know that's going to suck. And then
it'll look good though. They'll have something to brag about. Yeah, they'll be like, this game looks good. You know what I mean? But I agree, because when you hear, going back to Yoshida's comments, he's like, well, we don't have any AAA exclusives this year, but you know, we have Uncharted 4 next year. I mean, that's the only one that he like locks down is coming out next year, right? Yeah. Like, that's the only one, and you know that's a bad sign.
Let me build on that crap. Do you guys remember when the fight between HD, DVD, and Blu-ray was going on? Do you guys remember that? It was only it was like 10 years ago or something like that.
Yeah, hell yeah. I still got my HD DVD, bro.
Got the King Kong.
Yeah, so King Kong in 300. So listen, here's what's funny about it. So you remember when you went to Blockbuster or whatever your rental place was, that was when those were still alive too, and you went there, and I noticed that every time I went there, I was like, hi, I have the HD DVD. They're like, no problem, right over there, sir. And it was like a very thin line from the top to the bottom. I was like, and then I looked over, and it was a blue section of the Blu-rays, and it was just, every time I went every week, it grew, and it grew, and it grew, and my little sliver HD DVDs, I was like, oh, this don't look good, man. This is still a little, like, slender, like barely any selection. So what I said on Twitter the other day, and I was shocked, I didn't get Like, people must have some faith in this comment I made. I really think by Christmas 2016, or maybe just spring, if you're just spring 2017, if you walk into a GameStop, you're going to start to see that they're both going to have the same multiplats. We know that. But you're going to start to see almost 2-to-1 in the AAA department because Phil Spencer's buying into tons of IP. I mean, he just threw Recore out there like it was nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, yeah, by the way, there's a new IP made by the people who made Metroid. Enjoy that. That's coming out in April. See you guys later. Drop the mic. And it was like, what the fuck was that?
You know, I'm still pissed off we haven't seen anything more from that. It's just like, okay, spring release, and we haven't seen anything from it.
They're not backing off of it, so I think it's still holding tight to spring. So
I think so too, but damn, you know, you'd like to get a little bit of, you know, a lot of Xbox gamers are going to be a little bit weary about some of those new IPs. So I think it's a situation where it would probably do them a better job at actually selling these games if they kind of market them a little bit better, because not only are they kind of taking over what Sony did last gen with the PS3 by doing the exclusives and that kind of stuff, but they're doing a lackluster job at advertising too.
Yeah,
it's like it's kind of frustrating. Outside of Halo, they haven't really been advertising much of anything at all. And I mean, I saw some Forza 6 stuff here and there, but I mean, it's like, damn, you know, you got all this really good stuff.
And
advertise it. You know what I mean?
Here's my thing. You know, Microsoft.
Yeah.
We all know Microsoft has the financial capability to do almost, and let's just use the word almost anything. The first thing I would do if I said, geez, I'm kind of hurting in marketing, I would go over to the Geicos, the Progressives, the people that while we watch football, or I don't care, even if you're watching European soccer, you got to see all these insurance companies going crazy with all the, like, get somebody who's just got like an unbelievable sense of marketing, like Geico, or go steal the Sony rep. You know, all you have to do is add another comma, and the guy's gonna walk right over to Redmond. You know what I mean? Like, he's gonna be like, oh yeah, no shit, I'll see you there on Monday. You know, like, whatever they're doing, just, and it happens all the time in sports, crap, right? People steal each other's offensive coordinators so they can actually get the other team.
Obviously, yeah.
I mean, I don't get why they're not.
I wish that they would just. I mean, could you imagine if they put the kind of backing that they are for Halo behind some of their new stuff? Like, look, Sunset Overdrive. That game almost didn't have a chance, right? It was.
Yeah, they didn't market it.
No, they didn't.
Deathmatch multiplayer, but it wasn't really marketed the way Shake and Scalebound in particular. I want to see these do really well, but Microsoft is going to have to market the hell out of them and do a really good job. Look how they're doing the Hunt the Truth thing. That's brilliant, like the little behind the scene, the fact thing or whatever, the fake interviews, and you know, they're getting people excited for this game is what they're doing. It's viral marketing. You've got to do stuff like that nowadays to get a hold of people, to grab hold of people. You have these different outlets. You have Twitter. You can set up a Twitter account for them. You've got YouTube. You can set up little YouTube things. You can do so much these days, and it seems like Microsoft isn't really doing that, and that's not really to like rag on them, but it's like, damn, you got all this stuff. Like, I don't know if you guys saw that little graph that Tim Dog made today and tweeted out. It was like all the great stuff that Xbox One is getting this year, right? Fantastic. Why is that fan-made? Yeah, why is that fan-made? Why isn't that Microsoft made? You know what I'm saying? Like, Microsoft should be the ones that are pimping all that stuff, saying we've got DX12, Windows 10. We now have, when you guys get this new user interface, the fastest user interface of any next-gen console. It's like, what, 40% faster than the PS4?
Yeah, I agree.
If that's 40% I was watching somebody actually. I just watch. You got to know what the competition is doing too. So I was watching on YouTube. Someone was running through the new 3.0 on PS4, and it was pretty. They were blistering through. They were blistering through. So I said, now wait. Then I read the article. It is horrible. The 3.0 doesn't do anything. But the speed of it was decent. And I said, wow, I read the article where they said the Xbox One's new user interface is faster than the PS4. I said, well, that's going to be pretty goddamn impressive.
It is when you consider that you're still going to be able to snap. Apparently, you're going to be able to snap it in the right-hand corner or the left-hand corner if you want. You know what I mean? Like, it's still going to be able to do everything that old one could, but it's much cleaner and faster. And that's what they needed to do.
Mike Ibarra asked yesterday, I believe, would people prefer the snap on the left or the right?
That's so cool.
And I actually responded to him saying, can you just put it in settings for us to choose? To be honest with you, you can really use the argument in both ways. I think it depends on what you want to snap. If it's the TV, if you want to snap TV, I think on the right's better because in the right-hand corner you can look up. Your eyes always shift to the right. It's the way we read, right? We read from left to right. But sometimes I don't mind having the achievements or some factual thing on the left-hand side because my eyes, again, shift to the right. So when I'm gaming, I actually prefer to have the right side of my screen completely game. So it depends. It depends on what I want to do. Sometimes I'll have a sport, like I said, you're watching Monday Night Football and you're playing a game, playing Destiny or playing whatever, Madden. You can be playing anything, and you don't mind. Your eyes gravitate to the right side. It's just human nature. So if it's TV, you wouldn't mind having it on the right. But if it's your achievements list or this and that, my eyes kept shifting over to the achievements all the time. I thought the left was kind of smart. So then when I wrote it in, I said, well, can we do both? I don't know if they're going to be able to do that. I don't see why they couldn't. It should be a very easy setting. But that's great because that's just giving the user more options. So
see, this is the best thing about being an Xbox gamer. See how we getting all these cool updates? Yesterday we got the 12-man party chat. That was fun. That's a blast. And it's like Sony is not doing anything with their console. It looks the same thing that we bought day one. Microsoft is just evolving their console.
Yeah, I agree with you. And one thing, back to what Crap Gamer said about Tim Dog and his shout out to Tim Dog, by the way. You know, the graphic that he actually posted with all the features, DirectX 12, Power the Cloud, best, the best servers, all the games. See, they need to put that on the box. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Powered by DirectX 12, the Elite controller, 12-man parties. See, this is the thing. That was compatibility. They need to put everything on that box, so it looks attractive. So when a consumer or any customer see it on the store, they think, "Holy shit! It has all them."
Yeah.
See, some of the customers out there don't even know about all the features. So if they see the box and they read all the features, of course they're gonna buy it. It's gonna make an impact on the sales.
Yeah.
It really
a lot of
is.
people are like, doesn't the Xbox One, you can't play used games?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
There's so much misled consumers out there. So that's why if you put that on the box, then obviously consumers are going to be notified that hell, that's not even true.
I gotta say, Wolf, really good point. I had a different idea. I was thinking Tim's same graphic. I was thinking just like when we were all kids and used to open up the box your game came in. I was thinking of making it a folded map thing or not map, but like a poster that you could put up that was and you just every time you open up an Xbox game, on the left is the disc. And on the right would be that folded up with your 2-day Xbox Gold, so so that every time you undid it, it doesn't matter. You're not going to hang them up each time, but it's like a bam right to your face. Like, oh shit, I forgot that this does have everything I wanted. But I do like your thought. Put it on the back of the box or these bundles, so that when people are in the store and they're picking them up and they're holding them and they're turning them left and right, they're like, oh shit, this has an Elite controller. They're claiming they have the fastest UI. Wow, they're the most reliable online. Look at Verizon. Verizon and AT&T are the same fucking thing at this point. They're the same towers, but Verizon's like the most dependable. They have one more fucking tower than AT&T, but they let everybody know about that tower. You know what I mean? And then when people are like, I don't know which one to go with, the guy who just came from the flip phone era, and he's like, where do I go? Well, Verizon's the most reliable, and that's all you want to know when you make a phone call, right? So, like you said, if you have the fastest UI and you have the best controller and you have the most AAA games this generation, put it on the fucking box.
Yeah, they need to
let
talk
people
about
know. Put it on a poster in the game. I don't give a shit what you got to do. I don't understand. Make T-shirts, drop them from the sky. I don't know. I don't understand why they have all these great things. Why does Microsoft think that people are just going to talk about it at the water cooler and do the advertising for them? I mean, I've said it a couple times. We do these podcasts. You guys do your podcast. Blackie's got his show. We all got our own show. But, we're not getting paid. We do it because we're trying to tell people what we know. And like Blackie just said, there's certain people at GameStop right now walking in and being like, I don't want no 720 box. And it's like, what? People don't know what the box can do. And that simple illustration, and that Tim Dog's, that was a really spot-on job. It was very simple, plain, it was elegant, and it matched the fucking green with the white lettering. It looked good on the back of the box. So
and you know what it showed?
Said he liked it, so hopefully they run with it.
Yeah, you know what I liked about it was it had the exclusives that you couldn't play on anything else, but it also had all the big multi-platform games. It has your Battlefronts, your Call of Duties, your you know what I'm saying? You can play all that stuff on Xbox One. You know what I mean? I don't understand, and it's like if you look at something, even like Rainbow Six, right? Multiplayer only. You'd be foolish to get that on PS4 because of PSN. Now I realize, ironic. Xbox Live was down for a few hours today, right? Everybody was losing their shit over this. everybody's like, "Oh my God, Xbox Live is down. It's so bad. Oh my God, the service sucks." And what my response to that was, this is literally the first time since Christmas of last year that Xbox has been down for me. And I think that that's perfectly fine because Xbox Live never has scheduled maintenance. So we've never had to worry about that. These are services, and when you deal with services online, sometimes you're going to have to deal with that. Everything has ins and outs. If you have cable or satellite, those can go out sometimes. If you have, you know what I'm saying? That's just how life is. So for a period in our life where we couldn't get on Xbox Live, oh Jesus, oh Lord, you know what I mean? Let's all flip the fuck out over this. You know what I mean? Like, it was unbelievable. And, I was getting all the messages, Xbox Live's down. What do you got to say now? PSN is so much better. And I'm like, you tweeted at least 6 times this past month where PSN was down. You know what I mean? Plus it has the scheduled maintenance. So, yes, any online service can have issues, but Xbox Live, they got it back up and running. I'm happy about that. You know what I mean? It seems to be running fine. I'm not sure what the problem was. But Phil Spencer was very vocal because Tom Warren from The Verve, he goes, what sucks about Xbox Live when it's down is you can't use Netflix, you can't use YouTube, right? And Phil Spencer responded to him. He goes, hey, you're right. Everything's not tied to the singular service, so you should be able to get online and do these other things without having to be like quote unquote on Xbox Live. And I think that that's what makes Xbox a little bit different from the company. They're going that extra step. That's why I like Xbox so much. I think.
Well, dude, that's like, well, crap, everybody. The Xbox Live, it goes down, right? But let's take a look at everything going on. To me, that's just the ignorance that I hear, and it's just all over the place. They're rolling out UIs to different people who are in the preview program. This is a big update. We just got 12-man parties out of fucking nowhere.
Yep.
Okay, our service may be going down. It may went down, and I'm talking like periodically. But at least we're getting shit, and there's at least some evidence to say, okay, well, this is why it may go down. They are rolling out Windows 10 on this motherfucker. They did just add 12-man parties. There would be a reason, and there are reasons there. For PlayStation Network, they ain't shit happening. This is the same shit network that it has been for years, and that shit still goes down.
I honestly didn't even know Xbox Live even went down. I just switched it on before the podcast, and it was working. See, that's how noticeable it is. I did not even realize that it went down.
Yeah.
Well, if you're Crap Gamer or Mooch or me or you, you're gonna know about it. You're gonna know about it because they got to tell you.
Yeah, they message you.
And even this is the shit that burns me up, man. It's like PlayStation Network can go down 50 times in 1 year. Okay? And we might say something about it. We definitely will say something about it. I mean, but fuck, Xbox Live goes down 5 times in 1 year. And these people really, they have a claim. They have some type of, they have something to say now. It's like, I get you have something to say, but dumbass, your shit goes down way more all the time.
Yeah, CrapgamerReviews said a while back about that. Remember he said the PSN goes down so much that, PlayStation fans expect Xbox to be a higher caliber than the Sony community. I mean,
they hold it to a higher standard. That's what it is, yeah.
Yeah,
it's huge news. It's huge news. Look, when PlayStation Network's down, when PlayStation Network's down, everybody's like, okay, and water's wet and the sky's blue. When Xbox Live goes down, everybody's tweeting that shit. Oh my God, Xbox Live is down. Holy shit, Xbox, you get what you pay for. Nanny, nanny, nanny. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you seriously get that shit. Like, I was getting tweets today from people that were like, Xbox Live never has problems, huh? Let me say this, if I don't bot out here. Xbox Live can have issues. It can have issues, and that's okay. Once in a while is okay. It's the constant issues. It's the no upgrade from the last gen, like what PlayStation Network is doing. They haven't upgraded anything.
Yep,
it's the same bullshit. Exactly. That's the problem I have. That's the problem I have with
PSN's down. When PSN's down, no one talks about it. If Xbox Live is down, it's in the front page of the New York Times. It's just the way it's been all the time. I just don't get it.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't get it either. It's outside of Xbox Live going down, Twisted Pixel left Microsoft. I'm not sure exactly who initiated this. Twisted Pixel was a decent developer. They never did anything AAA level. There was rumors that they were going to do a big game. Their last game was Loco Cycle. It was a launch game for the Xbox One. It wasn't that great. I really like Explosion Man and Miss Explosion Man that they did on the 360. Good arcade titles. What are you guys' thought on this? I mean, do you think Microsoft maybe did it, or these guys wanted it? What do you think?
I think this move, for me, I read it this way. This is not what happened. This is the way I read it. This move made me feel better about Phil Spencer and the leadership role. This is the second time that, remember, when anything happens with these guys, they have to do everything politically correct. So you're not going to hear any bashing until maybe 6 months later. But in all honesty, this is the second time Phil Spencer's probably walked into a development company and said, "So what do you got? Let me see what you got." And he probably didn't like what he got, what he saw. And I think what he said, they probably said, "Well, okay, it's been known that we want to go our own way. We didn't know that, the consumers, but Microsoft knew." And he probably said, "Okay, well, why don't we just go ahead and let you go?" Because to be honest with you, it's a nice way of him saying, "I don't want your work." I don't think Loco Cycle to me was terrible. It was flat out awful. Nobody wanted it. Nobody, like at E3 when they were showing all the lines, nobody was playing that game. Nobody cared. And let them go out there and let them make. They showed some pictures of like the games that they've made in the past and some of the things they were thinking about for future development in an IGN short. They were news break, and nothing they had looked any better than a 1988 Gunslinger game. So I mean, to be honest with you, I don't want to sit here and say good riddance. That sounds like there was ill will. There's nothing ill will about it. But in all honesty, like, good luck, and we'll see you making the
PS4
remake, the remake to Rocket League soccer cars. I mean, like, I don't. Nobody cares.
Let me say this much, all right? Like, for me, I thought that they had some decent humor with some of their games, right?
Yeah.
But again, Loco Cycle wasn't up to the standards of which they had done before.
Right.
You know what I mean? To me, like, the whole thing just smells weird. They tweeted out, "Oh, you might have heard the news. We're back to being an indie game or whatever." And I responded to that tweet. I said, "You know what? Yuck." I said, "So you're going to be an indie studio in a sea of indies, right? Good luck with that."
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Because you see, it's a little bit different outside that Microsoft comfort zone when you got them writing those checks. And I think that's too, which is why they probably latched on with Activision, was because they like that money. You got to have that money to be successful. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to make a really big game, I'm sure that some of these smaller developers. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say that's exactly what it is.
I was going to say that I'm sure there's some.
Sorry, Crab. I'm sorry.
You're lagging out. I think you're lagging out a little bit, Crab.
I'm trying to make it. My analogy that I was trying to make was that we all know that little small bar down the road that lets all the underage kids drink. That's because nobody's going to that bar, and they need to. Like, all of a sudden, like, money looks like money. You know what I'm trying to say? So when you have someone coming in, and all of a sudden you got a 19-year-old and a 20-year-old, they're like, 4 pitchers and 100 wings. They're like, serve him. Like, I'm not condoning it, but that's like that's the concept here. You've got these small developers, and they're broke. Like, some of them are developing out of a garage. They're working really hard. And so when Sony's being how do I put this? They're kind of being scumbags. Like, they're literally saying to these people, "Hey, we're going to give you money because nobody else will," and they're just working them, and they're just constantly reaping in all these little games. And that's what and Yoshida even said that was part of his comments. He's like, "Well, we've got all these third-party games, and don't forget all these small games like Welcome to the Rapture and Tie Your Shoes and Bread and like all these other things coming out." And it was like nobody cared, and it was like that's what they're doing. They're kind of grabbing these small companies because they need the money, and that's what happens when desperation sets in. These companies will go to where the money is, even if it's not a lot of money.
You start making No Man's Sky because you start making No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel the same way, man. It's just, there's a lot of, I've seen that a lot, especially this generation. There's a lot of stuff that I feel a few generations ago it just wouldn't be acceptable whatsoever at all.
No, and like look at No Man's Sky. I'm glad you brought that up. That right there is it's this generation's epitome of what Journey was on PS3. And let me just clarify what I mean by that. I'm sure. Look, I had a PS3. I played Journey. I tried it out. You know, it won fucking Game of the Year, if you could even stomach that quote. And, like, you know, literally, it was okay. I mean, if you want to sit, it's like if I took you to an art gallery. Okay,
Yeah.
No Man's Sky and Journey are like when you sit next to somebody who's been doing art for 30 years, and all you see is paint splattered left and right and up and down, and the guy's like, "Don't you see the waterfall and the people eating the picnic down there at the bottom?" And I'm like, I don't see shit. You know, I see like 5 splats of gray paint and a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And that's because I'm not artsy. That's fine. I'm not. It doesn't mean that the artist is not talented. The point of the matter is don't put it up against, you know, the Van Gogh or the Mona Lisa, you know, where I can see the work that was done and the craftsmanship for the time versus this new art that it's not belittling it, but don't compare it to, what I'm saying by the Mona Lisa are these AAA games that have 50, 60, 80, $100 million budgets. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's just like very few indie films ever win the Oscar of the Year over a AAA that has George Clooney doing mediocre acting. You know, it doesn't have the budget for it. And that's the kind of thing here. And that's the same thing you're going to see with No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky is a great indie title. It's just a little thing. You like that crap? But I mean, like, in all honesty, like,
no, I thought I was the only one that thought that.
No, it's true. Like, you know, honestly, like, it's just No Man's Sky is going to be good for what it is, but Sony's taking the baton and running with it like it's Halo 5. And that's absolutely absurd. And if you're a Sony fan, you've got to kind of be a little disappointed. That's just the way it is.
Yeah. If indie games wasn't around, Sony would be in a lot of trouble because all they have is third-party games.
That's it.
Could I just add something about Twisted Pixel? Now, I may be wrong, right? But the way I'm seeing it is Phil must have saw what they were working on, and obviously he just wasn't happy with it. He wasn't satisfied. So
that's what I think.
He had to just, you know, he had to crunch it and throw it in the trash can. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like the same situation with Darkside Studios, who were supposed to be working on Phantom Dust that time.
Yes.
He wasn't happy with it, so obviously they had to scrap the project. Not really like, you know, can it completely, but kind of like shelve it or just get rid of what they were working on and start it with a new studio. So I think it's the same situation. There was also a rumor that Twisted Pixel was supposed to work on a Battletoads game, like a next-gen Battletoads, but I don't know if they're still working on it or not. I have no clue. But what do y'all think about this?
No, I think you hit it. I think you hit the nail on the head, to be honest with you, Wolf. And that was a good analogy with the Phantom Dust. It's the same thing. That's why I said I'm starting to see that Phil Spencer is not just this. He's a very nice politically correct guy on the internet because he has to be. That's his job title. But he's also walking around with a big stick and firing people. You know, he's doing a little Teddy Roosevelt when he walks into everyone. You know what I mean? He's kicking ass. If he likes what he sees, he tweets it right out. He's like, I just came from the Crackdown guys. Thing looks amazing. I played like 6 hours of it. The thing was amazing. Then when he goes to see the Twisted Pixel guys, 2 weeks later you find out they're on their own. You know, I mean, and that's fine. That's what a boss does, right? Doesn't a boss hire and fire? What's wrong with that? He didn't like the product.
Yeah, you're starting to see the difference between Microsoft and Sony now. If this was Sony and Twisted Pixel was making like this dog shit game, so Yoshida and them would have said, "Let's hurry up and release it." Yeah. He would have said, "Get it out to the public."
They would have put that shit on the box.
Yeah, they'd have hurry up and got it out to the public.
They probably would have made a custom bundle for that shit, man.
Oh my god! Hey, can you guys hear me?
Now I can't grab.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, so what do you guys think about the Xbox bundles that were announced this week? I'm kind of middle of the road. I like some of them. Some of them I'm not a big fan of. What do you guys think?
Who wants to start, man?
I'll do it. So last generation with the 360, I bought most all the custom bundles because they looked cool. I like the sounds they made, and I just like, you know, having them on your show. I would like the option to have a cool looking custom bundle. I think they dropped the ball with the Tomb Raider one. Now people gonna buy it regardless, but I would have liked to have a cool custom console for it, with like white on it with some snow, or maybe have the fucking bear on it. Just make it a different color. I think they need to look at the games and what games sold and made that into a bundle. I don't know if the Lego game is going to sell, because you know most kids probably won't buy Xbox One. They'll probably play on their tablet, so they probably won't care about that Lego bundle. That Gears of War bundle they had with Ori, I think they should have had Master Chief Collection instead of Ori. That'd have been cool. That Gears Xbox that's white, they should have had that red. Just make a red Xbox. So I think they dropped the ball on a couple of the bundles, but Microsoft's still going to win the holiday season anyway.
Yeah, I'm like this, man. With the bundles, I could care less, and it's not that I don't think they're cool, but you have I just bought Forza and Gears, and you have the Elite controller. It's gonna be an expensive year, man. You got Tomb Raider. I don't see who the fuck is looking at bundles right now, man. If you have a functional Xbox, to me, I just can't afford it, and it's because of the games they're dropping.
But Blackie, you have an Xbox, so how about those who don't and who want to go out and buy one? They need to see something that's attractive. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and I think that the games are going to speak for themselves. They like the Forza bundle. It's a great idea because there's so many car enthusiasts. Halo, that's also a great bundle. But I think that you just kind of keep it limited. Like your main games, like Blaze said, like keep the bundles going for your main games.
Yeah, the main game.
Some of this shit, you just don't need it, man. It's just a waste of, I don't know, maybe it's a waste of time, maybe it isn't. I'm not the CFO or anybody of that company who can, see the results at the end of a quarter because of these bundles.
That's true.
From my perspective, man, that shit's expensive.
Like, Blackie, I want to throw this out to Blackie because Blackie does a lot of the marketing stuff on his channel, and this is my concept. Here's what I think. Here's why I think we're stuck with so many of the generic black looking consoles. Here's the thing. I think when you come down to mass production, when you're making these things, when you call somebody, and I deal with some of this at work, but like when you call somebody to fabricate something and you put an order in for 100,000 parts to be constructed, you get a cheaper price than if you order 10,000 parts. We know that, right? That's basics. So I think when they were trying to get this price as low as possible, especially the second iteration of these, what they did was I think they ordered a absolute shit ton, and I mean a fucking shit ton, of these consoles to just be pumped out to get the price as low as possible. Let's say they normally ordered to be, fabricated about 100,000. Let's just say I make that up. That's actually a low number. They did like 500,000 is my point. So what I'm saying is now they have an abundance in their warehouse. So the best way to do it is slap the picture on the outside and put the disc in the box, or the code. That's like literally if Microsoft pulled each one of us, brought us into a room, and said, "Why do you think we're doing this?" That would be my answer, because there really is no good reason why. And Blackie, you make a good point. Like to me personally, the colorful, I'd rather see the boxes being more detailed than the console. That doesn't mean so much to me, but they should have taken like the white one that was the Gears one that came out, and they could have taken it, because what I like to do is improvise. You have to take what you have and make things better. They could have taken the white console and put the red Gear with the skull in the middle on the top of it, and because that way, even if you pumped out a lot of these and you're stuck with it, same thing with the black one. Hey, everyone's buying the Darth Vader sketch on the top of the PS4. Why wouldn't you buy a black console that has the red blood Gear with the red skull in the middle? Which is, people are, how many times on Twitter do we see all these Gears tattoos? I mean, people are putting Gears on their body for the rest of their lives. Of course they want that same Gear head on their console, and that's an easy thing to do with something you already have fabricated. But I do think that's the reason you're seeing them pump out all these bundles, is they have an abundance of it. A lot of times this happens with companies with different situations, and I think that's why we're seeing so much of the redundancy, and you're not seeing these new consoles come out. Sony, on the other hand, didn't do that. They probably had these things in place where they knew these deals were coming down the pipe, and they ordered their consoles to be made accordingly, and that's why they were able to generate these different SKUs. But again, myself personally, I do tend to lean a little bit more towards what Wolf, it's not that I disagree with you. You're definitely hitting a certain different customer. But for the majority of people, like myself personally, I do have two Xbox Ones in my house, and I love having two Xbox Ones. By the way, I mean, if you have if any guy has a man cave and an upstairs with the family, it's nice when they're jamming upstairs and you go downstairs play your game. It's definitely kind of cool. So there's something to that. But personally, I don't care if the one downstairs was colorful or this and that, because it's in my entertainment center. And all my stuff, my equalizer, your everything you got is just all black anyway. So I want a black console. But that's coming from my generation, the way I look at things. So I think that's my thing, is I think they just made too many of the same SKU to get the price down initially.
Oh, here's my take.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to give my take on the custom bundles, and this is what I probably would have done. The Gears of War one that they announced today, which was all white, I would have put that inside the Tomb Raider bundle instead. So that Tomb Raider could stand out above the rest, because that is their big exclusive for the year. Now, the Rare Replay one with Gears and Ori, I would have just put, like Blaze said, put Master Chief instead of Ori. And you know, I would have had that yellow. I would have had a rare replay, design it yellow with all the rare characters. Nintendo gamers would probably buy that too. And the whole thing with the Connect one that they announced today, that makes sense, I guess, because they want to, I guess, I wouldn't say discontinue the Connect, but I'll say discontinue the
It
500
needs to
gig
be
console.
450, not 499 though. Come on, man.
Yeah.
That was my complaint. I was like, come on, man, you got 450, man. That's the price point for that. Not because that matches up well with what Sony's doing even. But I did like the white Xbox One. A lot of people asked for just the white one, so I see why they're doing that one. But I'm with you, Mooch. I think that it would have been easy to put like a gear cog or something on top of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I really don't get why a billion-dollar company failed to realize that it's all about the presentation.
Yeah.
People buy shit because it looks good. Look, people want things that stand out above the rest. Facts. When you go to the store and you see iPods on stores, you want to buy whatever color that suits you. And that's how people feel about consoles. I know I'm one of them kind of people. I like to collect shit.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, another thing what I don't understand is why the hell did Microsoft use that same ugly-ass green box in their consoles? They need to hire Jay Williams. They need to hire Jay Williams. At least he would do a better job designing the box and the consoles.
Listen,
Hey, I love the Elite.
You can use green, but use emerald green, not pea green.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they slapped a little sticker at the bottom, you know what I mean, saying it comes with these games. Whoop-de-doo, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Hey, well, if you look at the Elite box, that's black though. I like that box.
that was a nice box. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is nice. Well, so same thing with the day one box.
Do you guys
that
think
was
that
great.
there's do you guys think there may be too many bundles? I mean, I know some of them are store exclusive, but you have the Elite bundle, you have the Halo 5 bundle, the Forza 6, Tomb Raider.
You know what, crap?
The
I'll answer that
Lego
right away. Let me
movie.
answer it right away. No, and I'll tell you why you don't have enough. Right now, Microsoft, you know what they're doing really well? When you walk into a store, okay, come whenever these are going to hit the store shelves, you are going to be, as a consumer, you're going to be overwhelmed, and that's a good fucking thing right now.
Bombarded.
Yeah, so when you look up, you're going to see this bundle, that bundle, that bundle. You're like, holy shit, look at all these games. And I will say this much. We don't like the green boxes. We all agree with that. I'm also in line with that. But if you're just a consumer that walks in and you have $400 in your hand and you see just the PlayStation with the Darth Vader, granted, if you're a Star Wars guy, you may go that way, but that's all they really have on that side. Look, Call of Duty's on its 13th year of operation or 12th year of operation. Let's just call a spade a spade. You're buying Black Ops 3 or you're not. I don't give a shit if it has 3 orange lines on it. So and it's not even a 1 terabyte. So Sony, get with the fucking program.
Yeah.
Microsoft's giving everybody a terabyte. So
That console was hideous.
it's awful. So I mean, I think actually, crap, to answer your question in short, because I want the panel to be able to talk, is that I think this is good because you know what they're saying? We're going to kill you by suffocating you. Everywhere you turn, you're going to see a bundle. Whether you like it or not, you're going to slap at a bundle. So I think
Something
more
for
is
everyone.
awesome. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Who wants to go next? Jump in.
Shit, man, I'll go in next. You know, if these PlayStation ass pirates had a good game, they would be worried about our bundles, man. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I was gonna say.
I mean, what else does Blackie need to say? No, but in all realness, I really think that with a console, and this is just my own personal thoughts, it's under the TV. You don't get to see it too much. I've never been a collector, so I really can't speak to the people who like to collect those things. But Microsoft having the funds to do it, why not do both?
Yeah.
As a consumer, though, bring it back to the fucking games, because I do not want to be holding a pretty-looking controller or a pretty console and not have no goddamn games on it. I don't want to be, be irritated like some of these people I see on the internet who are stuck with these indies and a bad network. I don't want that shit. So keep doing the games, Microsoft. Good job.
No, but I understand from a business standpoint. I know it's a bit expensive to have, more SKUs on the shelves. Blackie, we had a conversation about this as well, and it's costing Microsoft, especially to have all these different types of SKUs on the shelves. But if Sony can afford to do that, I'm sure Microsoft can do the same thing.
Yeah,
Sony have different colors. You know what I'm saying? They got the 20th year anniversary. They have the gray one, which is the 20th year anniversary. They have the red one, the Batman one. The Black Ops one, the Star Wars one. There's so many different ones, different color controllers. Microsoft just need to get their custom game, right? Let's just say the limited edition.
Yeah, definitely.
Last year we only had two, you know what I mean, which was the Sunset Overdrive and the Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, which I have right now. This year they only done two. I mean, like next year I hope they do more for some of their third parties that they got. Like I want to see a Division console.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, when you're dealing with production on a mass scale, on a very large scale, it's like Mooch was saying, this shit gets expensive. Like, you have a certain amount that's going to be spent for a certain amount of parts, and all this stuff goes into action. And when you change something very small, that's very significant on a mass production scale. And that's all it boils down to. They may have had to, get so many Xboxes done on a contract to achieve this certain price point, and now they have overstock like a motherfucker, and they're just slapping bundles on them. And I don't know, that could be it. But I know, like, when you're fighting for shelf space, like, that real estate is very competitive. It's very expensive. So, like, to add another SKU that's a different color, that color to satisfy that customer is going to want it. That's just not going to cut it for Microsoft, considering how much money that's going to cost. Given the different amount of locations and how much shelf space overall it's going to take for these SKUs, that shit is very expensive. I mean, you take a marketing class, you learn it very quick, man.
I know some people are going to buy that Tomb Raider bundle, right? Because they obviously want the game, and if they see a bundle with that game, then they're probably going to buy it. But like me personally, and I know some people will understand where I'm coming from, I'm not going to pay $399 for a black console. I'm just not going to do it. Yes, I know it's 1 terabyte, but it's a black console. And I know, Z's going to say black consoles matter, but, you know what I mean? It is what it is, bro.
At least we know Microsoft not racist.
I'm not even gonna touch that shit, man, because people will jump on me anyway, dude. I could have like six black dudes in my podcast. I could have like five Asian dudes. They still say that I'm racist. So fuck that, man. But yeah, I think that I like what they're doing. They're offering a lot of things. But what do you think about it's weird is they're doing a lot of digital content with their bundles, and GameStop isn't selling those bundles because they have digital content. So I mean, I think that they kind of shoot themselves in the foot there as well. It's like they have that really good Rare Replay Gears Ori bundle, but then again, GameStop, that's one of your largest game outlets, isn't going to sell that game. It isn't going to sell that one. So I think that's kind of unfortunate.
I think they should try to make a push more on Walmart then, because I think Walmart does sell more than GameStop.
Hey, that white one, that white Gears one is Walmart exclusive.
Yeah, so I would think I would try to cut GameStop out the equation and try to go more for like Walmart and get a deal with them. Maybe they can advertise it more in their catalog and stuff. Maybe get some kind of deal with them.
Yeah, and now also Target, Best Buy, you know what I mean? You have all those stores too, man.
That's right.
What do you guys think about the
GameStop's business model, right? It's designed to screw customers over, day in, day out, and I think that this is just them kind of
lashing out,
struggling, man, like flapping around.
Mooch, as a person that stalks gamers outside of GameStop,
yes. I'm actually doing this podcast from my car with a pair of binoculars. Go ahead.
No, I just thought that was the funniest goddamn thing I've ever heard in my life. But anyway,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I mean, obviously, I've come to the point where I don't use GameStop very often anymore either. I had a couple leftover pre-orders with them. I'm getting most of my, because I still like physical content from Microsoft Store, because they'll give you like a free $15, $20 thing on your credit every time you buy a game. So I've been getting a lot of my physical pre-orders from there. But the last time I was there, it was just like, they have that agenda where they push the PlayStation and they don't give you anything on trade-ins anyway. So it's like, really, at this point, I could say I could care less about GameStop. You know what I mean? But
what GameStop has over us, we all know this. Everybody listening knows this. When you beat a game, and we've all said this, we've all looked at a physical disc you've had in your hand, and you're like, you look at it, you've beaten the game, and you're like, I'm never going to play you again. I'm just never going to play this again.
Yeah.
And when you say that, okay, I know, Crap, you're a collector, so this goes by the wayside for you. But I don't collect like that. There's certain things that, like I said, all Halo, all the Gears, I have all of those. I keep thinking I have all the BioShocks, all the Mass Effects, like that stuff I keep. But like Wolfenstein: The New Order, bye-bye. After I beat it, I mean, come on, let's be honest. I'm not gonna play that in 4 years. So like that's me. This is me. I'm not making fun of it. I'm saying that's my personal thing. So what they've got over the consumer right now, what still is that dangling carrot, I think we've all fallen for it every once and again, is you beat a game within 2-3 weeks and you're like, all right, I'm not playing this again. And you're like, they're like, hey, we'll give you $35 for it. Well, why not, right? I mean, I might as well do that because you're not going to sell it to your buddy. If you put it on Craigslist, you want random people just showing up to your house to buy a video game? No.
Yeah.
So I mean, that until that motto goes away, or the used games thing, like what Microsoft's trying to do with Back Compat, and they're giving all these games away. Until we all start to build these collections up on our Xbox One, there still is a need for that. Now, let's get back to what we were just saying. And Blackie said it, and I think Blazin said it. What Microsoft needs to do, if they're seeing who their enemies are, people just make a line in the sand. You guys all watched Godfather, right?
Yeah.
Remember when they walk over and what was it there? I can't remember if it was Balzini family or who it was. They walk up to Corleone and they go, "We need your support," and he's like, "No, I'm not going to support you." Well, that family knew immediately that that's the enemy right there. They're not going to go. The Corleones are not going to work with them. Same thing here. You got GameStop says, "I'm not going to support your digital bundles." Well, now guess what? No offense, GameStop, you are big in the game, but you know what? You're not bigger than. You're not bigger than Walmart, you're not bigger than Target, you're not bigger than Sam's Club, you're not bigger than Best Buy. Microsoft makes it a pact with them, give them a cutback off of these things, let them stock the thing from the top to the... Every time you hear somebody say, "Yo, I got this amazing Black Friday deal," it's immediately followed by "at Walmart."
Yeah.
So like, you want to go to Walmart, you want to be with Target, and Walmart doesn't give a flying. I know they're into the used game market too, but they want SKUs to fly. That's all they want. People to come in and SKUs to fly. So if you got a disc or you got a code, they don't give a shit. They just want to sell the SKU. So you make your deals with them, and ultimately, if Microsoft has to pull out of GameStop for any, they never pull out like that, but they back out just slightly. It is GameStop's the one that's going to hurt. You can't lose Microsoft. That store is divided right down the middle. Okay, it's Sony on the left and it's Xbox on the right. No matter what store you walk into, that's how they have it divvied up. And if you lose the right-hand side, that's 50-60% of your clientele that you just lost. No business can sustain that. Not one of them. You go to any car dealership, they're like, "Hey, our car's really cheap here, but don't bring your car back here if it breaks." You ain't doing service? No, it's too expensive. Well, I'm out, So, like, that's the thing. So, do your deals with Walmart, Target, Best Buy. Get the other brick-and-mortar stores to join up with you. You're Microsoft. All you got to do, like, you just have that kind of pull. You don't even have to offer money. You're like, do you know who I am? Yes, great. This is what we want to do. Okay, thank you. Like, it's not that difficult, and I don't know why they don't. That's where they have to cut the balls and be tough. I don't understand why they're not doing that.
I agree with you, Mooch, and I think if Microsoft flexed their muscles a little bit, they could make GameStop irrelevant, yo.
Yeah, they should.
Right. They could make GameStop irrelevant, and they could just go for Toys R Us and all them other kind of stores, man. Like Walmart, Target, Best Buy, and even their own Microsoft stores. Open more of those around the states, you know what I mean? Like every state have one there, man.
Hey, let me try this out real quick. And then when Microsoft does that, you know what would happen, Wolf? Here's what you'd hear. "Hi, this is Damon Hatfield reporting from IGN. Microsoft flexed its muscles today, and the giant has destroyed a small business and putting 3,500 workers out of business. Further news to be discussed later on Game Scoop." Thank you very much, Damon Hatfield, and everybody else that loves Sony. Signing out.
Microsoft, I agree with that too. Microsoft should do that to the game. They should do that to the game websites too. Say we're not gonna give you review copies or interviews. They should do that too. They should just push their muscle around. Be like the mob. Push their muscle around. I wouldn't give them interviews. I wouldn't give
exactly. Just don't do it discreetly. That's my only thing, Blake.
Yep.
I think Phil Spencer's too nice though. Like if you notice, I think he went baggy from IGN even after the whole Beast comment and all that stuff. You know what I mean? I think that for whatever reason, they have a good relationship. I don't get it because I think IGN are some of the worst offenders, but maybe not as bad as GameSpot. GameSpot probably are the worst offenders. I mean, just look at some review scores, right? Uncharted Collection, IGN gave that shit a 9.0 out of 10.
That game is awful.
They didn't knock any. I mean, there's no negatives for lack of multiplayer on that, right? They gave Gears of War Ultimate an 8.5 out of 10 and gave it a negative too much A button. right?
Yeah.
So the only negative for the Uncharted collection, according to IGN, was there was a lack of extra features like concept art or behind the scenes stuff. That was it.
When you hear people doing the reviews, listen to IGN's. Go listen to the guy's name was Vince, who did the IGN review of the Uncharted collection. He all these guys that do the Sony reviews, instead of talking about like how they downgraded the Gears thing, they're like, well, Gears was too much A button, and they didn't focus on this and that, right? And they said the mechanics still feel very much like the original. No shit, it's the same game. They didn't say any of that for this game, and at the same time, they let everything go. Did you guys see the Uncharted collection? Like, don't get me wrong. I've said this before. I'll say it again. I actually like Uncharted. Do I love it? No. Is it one of my favorites? No. But I like it. On Sony's platform, that's really the only game I play. I've enjoyed all the Uncharteds, and I didn't mind The Last of Us. Again, none of them would I get a tattoo of. I'm not saying it's great, but they're okay. They're okay.
Guys, Mooch is the closet Naughty Dog fan. That's it right there, man. You love Naughty Dog.
Listen, I was waiting for the Naughty Dog bundle. Because, I mean, to be honest with you, they don't have anything else that really caters to me. I don't like the JRPGs at all at this age. I like them when I was a kid. I don't like that shit. I don't like the Persona stuff. I don't care for any of that stuff. The flower and the journeys and the walking simulators, I don't really care for that kind of stuff. I don't like the artsy things. You know, we're all on an agenda right now. We all work really hard. Everybody comes home. You want to jam out for a little while. And I'll tell you something. I was a big offender. I made a good stink about Destiny. And then I had a lot of people that were my friends that have been playing it. We call it the vanilla. The vanilla Destiny was the one that came out last year. The vanilla Destiny, they played that for a full year, and I wanted nothing to do with it. And then my buddy comes in, he goes, can I just talk to you for a second at work? I go, yeah. He's like, we've been playing this shit, and it's actually amazing. He's like, you should try it now. I think it's all the stuff you've been bitching about. They fixed some of it. I think you could get back into it. And I'll tell you this much. Is it my favorite game? No. When Halo comes out, Destiny what? Destiny who? Yeah. But, like, my point is that they did correct some of the things. They listened to the customers that were bitching, and me being one of them. And it's a decent game right now. But when you come home, the mechanics are good. The gunfire feels good. The options are good as far as your weapons. And the loot system has been fixed. It's a little bit more like the Diablo system. The randomness has been, upgraded so that you get the better loot a little faster. And you need that. Like, I only have like an hour and a half to jam out, maybe every other night or something like that. I don't have time to just sit there. There's a lot of these people that are like, well, I'm taking this day off for the Taking King, and they take like 3 days off. I'll fucking lose my job. You can't do shit like that when you get older. But like, you need games that have kind of like that instant gratification. You know what I mean? That Halo where you just sit down and you could play 2 missions, and when you get done and you save it, you're like, I can't wait to come back to this shit tomorrow night. You know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of shit that I like, and that's the thing that Microsoft gives over and over again. I think that Uncharted is one of the only games that really you can say that Sony gave that, like, I can't wait to come back and play another chapter of it the next day after you put the controller down. That's what I felt in the PS3 era. Other than that, I really didn't get much out of PS3 where I felt like I need to come back. I can't wait to play this game. So that's why Microsoft resonates with me. There's just multiple titles. There's Gears. There's the Halos. I mean, even Forza Horizon. Not so much Forza 6. Not bashing it. I'm not a car dude. You know what I mean? I'm not like, I can't wait to go out and change tires. That's not my thing. Yeah. So like that's but the Horizon has the story and the gameplay and they
music.
And the music, man, fantastic, absolutely great point, Blaze. And like that's the kind of stuff that
I will give you that, man. Horizon has the way better music. Horizon's music is way better, man. I always gotta like rock something up because it's like some damn dubstep or something, just like I'm like, oh Jesus, come on, man. But yeah, Forza 6. What I like about that. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, because I can never tell if I'm botting out or something when you guys like act weird or whatever. But yeah, what I like about Forza 6 is they actually adapted it to play a little bit more like Horizon if you choose to. So I actually kind of like that. I like what they did with the campaign this time around in the rain, and obviously the night racing is really cool. You know what I mean? I wanted to ask you guys real quick, what did you guys think about what the Plus version of Drive Club is already about to get pulled. It took them all that time to actually put it on there. They promised it at the launch play. Yeah, and now they're already about to pull it. I mean, what do you guys think
Well,
about that? Just another shit by Sony or what?
Yeah, Sony. I mean, Sony just honeydicked their fans yet again. You know what I mean? They promised them this Drive Club, the free version. They put it out there, and now they're gonna take it right back. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty laughable in my opinion. It really is. I think they probably think they made a mistake even putting out a free version because the physical copy is still selling. Probably that's what it might be. But you know, what do y'all think, man?
Yeah,
Well,
but
it's only $20. It's only $20. That's why. Because I mean, it's not like I bought it for 20 and Dash for like 20 with all the DLC or whatever. So I don't think that it's a case where I'm not exactly sure what they're doing. I saw some kind of damage control article today that's for success. Basically, kind of said, well, it's okay that Drive Club wasn't that great because they didn't expect the PS4 to be that successful, and the servers had problems with that many people. You know what I mean? It's like whatever you can do to damage control, do. Like I can still remember me and Mooch laughing about the Order 1886. It got bad review. You saw, you're not crazy if you actually liked the Order 1886. I mean, they were damage controlling their own reviews. Yeah. It's like they couldn't. I mean, obviously people would know if they went out and gave that game a good review. But if you came out and damage controlled it, saying it's not that bad, then people might be okay with it. And I think that's what a lot of these reviewers did. You know what I mean? Like you can't get away with saying a total garbage game like The Order is good, but you can damage control. Same thing with Until Dawn. I can still recall I fucking unfollowed the guy from Game Informer when he's like, it's the biggest sleeper hit of the year and all this bullshit. I laughed at my ass off. I messaged him. I was like, unfollowed. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't usually do that, but it's like I can only take so much love in. That seems to be like the prominent thing to do. So I mean, what is your guys' thought on the whole Drive Club thing? Blackie, I know you got to probably think something because Sony constantly cuts out support for their shit, and people don't say anything about it.
Yeah, this is just another piece of evidence you have where they don't seem to support their shit. It's like they don't have confidence in their stuff, man. You have PlayStation Home. That was one of the things. PlayStation Move. And this is far away from Drive Club, but it's all coming back to it. PlayStation Move. I thought it was an amazing piece of tech, but where was the fucking support? And it just goes on. SOCOM, Warhawk. I mean, I could just keep listening. I don't want to keep going.
I have a PlayStation Move.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's the support. It just seems that they always like to kind of dangle this fucking worm in front of their customers and get them going and pull it away. And it's really fucking. To me, they kind of deserve it. It's all well deserved, man. That thing is so hyped up, and that game sucks. I mean, you look at Forza and Horizon, and this is like the third Forza game already this generation. And I mean, what was it? They had like a very limited amount of cars. It drove like shit. I don't know, man. It just seems like they just can't get their shit together to me.
Yeah. Well, Sony did the same thing with that PT demo, right? They took it off the store and they tried to damage control that, and Sony fans tried to say, oh, they bought the thing and it's 8% complete. And then we had other rumors saying Microsoft bought it. We don't know what's going on with that, but I hope that's coming to Xbox. Yeah. But if Microsoft pulled out, let's just say Fable Legends, they took it off and it's not free anymore, and they're gonna make a retail copy of the game. I mean, it's gonna make front page news. We all know that. But me personally, I wouldn't complain because I always wanted Fable to be a AAA game, and it is really AAA. Because I don't know if you read an article about it. It's a AAA, that they're taking risks with, which is a good thing. And I guess that's the model that they want to run with.
But I think Sony's smart for doing this because the game is so garbage that Sony fans will actually go out and buy and support it. Why wouldn't they make you pay for it? I think Sony should take the free model. I said Sony, they can do anything to the Sony fans.
And it is. Care. I mean, hey, look at the PS Plus games.
They horrible.
Did you guys notice the PS Plus games, like the reveal for that on their YouTube channel? Yeah, they got a lot of dislikes. So Sony fans may be starting to wake up because you look over at what Microsoft is doing, and they're offering really good games each month. Now, this month happens to be games I already have, but I think for to people that don't have them, you're getting easy as shit gamer for a month, man. It's amazing.
Pretty excited
You know what I
about
mean?
the
Like,
Telltale game. That game looks to. I never got into The Walking Dead, but we watched me and my wife and we
you get a
watched Walking
thousand,
Dead.
you get 1,000 game rewards. You're beating that like 1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. That first season, really good. It's got one of the best stories ever. Like, especially, it's a good thing to sit back and play the different chapters just to relax, like as something different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think that's what I did with it. Like, that's what I like about those games. They're different. You can just kind of sit back and a narrative-driven game, you know, because you don't always want. That's what I'm saying. There's room for the AAAs and those type of games. You know what I mean? Like, have a space as well, but you can't just have those type of games. You need both, and that's what I like best about Xbox. And I'm looking forward to, you know, seeing what's in the future. 12-person party chat is up. What do you guys think about that? Have you guys tried it out yet?
Crap, you're kind of skipping in between.
Now you said about 12-man party chat is up.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, 12-man party chat just came out. Have you guys tried it?
Yeah, 12-man parties. I think that's crazy. And the biggest thing is that there was no big update that everybody got. It was just somebody said, hey, man, they got 12-man parties, bruh. And everybody was like, no, they don't, dude. What are you talking about? And then we kept inviting people. And then, like, you know, the ninth person joined, and everybody went fucking crazy. And it was just an amazing time. Like, whenever the ninth person joined that party, like just a few nights ago, it wasn't like mind blowing because it got annoying real quick because now you got 12 motherfuckers yapping. But what it was, it's like, look at what they're doing with this console. They're able to get this update to us, and we don't even know what's happening. It's behind the scenes. They're rolling out this new UI. That, like I said, all the things that are coming here in just a few days, the Elite Controller, Halo, I don't know, man. I'm happy. I'm very happy about it. It just shows that they're heading in the right direction. They're listening to their customers. And like we were just talking about Drive Club, they're taking this stuff off away from their customers. That's just another example of how much Sony's customers are letting them get away with. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not happening over here on the Xbox One at all because, I don't know, they seem to be treating me with some respect.
The Xbox continues to evolve. I mean, every month we're getting something. Now we're getting this massive. Look at. I've said this before on different podcasts. Maybe I even said it on this one. When you get a new UI, everybody's getting a brand new console this year. Like, that's new. Like, when you take any box out, right, when you were like, oh, my God, I'm so tired of the 360. I can't wait to buy the Xbox One. One of the first things you couldn't wait for is the new interface, the new reaction you have with the console, the different apps, the way that they present it to you. Guess what, guys? We've had our boxes since 2013. It's 2015. We're getting basically a brand new box. Like, everything's going to be new. Everything's going to be faster. And this isn't just the end of it. If you guys are paying attention to all the updates that are coming out, okay, one of the first things, this was me internally. I sat there and I was like, I'm like, man, they didn't change the notifications. And then a week later, they changed the notifications. Now they're crisp, they're clean. Your icon's in a circle, so it's neat. And it's just a very clean pop-up that comes up. So this, just because the UI comes out in November, it's not like, all right, Microsoft's out. Enjoy that. See you guys later. Like, every single month, we're still going to get new things that the Windows 10. This is opening up things we don't even know. I'm not even going to speculate because people just like bash speculation. So I'm not going to speculate. All I'm going to tell you is, from the time the new UI went out to the first preview members to a week and a half later, they've already, not only have they fixed 100 of the small little bugs, but they've already also changed notification tab, which is really neat. I mean, this is cool. They're saying within the next, before we all get it in November, our avatars are going to be lifelike. So like when Blazing, when I go over to check out, see if you're online, when I go to check your dude out, your dude's going to be fucking jamming, like doing, they're playing
That's
something
cool.
or moving. That's neat, man. It's all these little things that make when we got our phones, right? Remember when we first got these smartphones and you went to contacts and it was just Blazing Phoenix and a phone number. Now it's got a picture next to you and a description and something else and then your phone number, your favorite color, and all this other shit you can put in there. And that's what it's these little things that make everything a little bit more human, a little bit more that personalization. And that's what matters. And Windows 10, that's an OS that's going to be in every business building, every school, everywhere. This is a massive program. It's a major operating system, and we have it on the Xbox One. So every month they can almost throw out sky's the limit. So this is a fantastic thing, and this new UI, like I said, you're basically basically getting a brand new console in 6 weeks. That's an amazing feat. Amazing.
Yeah, like I'm a PS4 owner, and it's like
I agree.
yeah, I'm a PS4 owner, and it's like when you go from the Xbox One to the PS4, it's like going from a smartphone to a flip phone. It's just
That's
it's
correct.
nothing there. Like I love the new update to 12-man party chat. It's crisp, it's clean. You can hear everyone clear. On PSN, the fucking chat is horrible, horrible quality. It's like it's nothing to be excited for as a PS4 owner. We get new updates. I don't even turn my PS4 on anymore. I haven't turned it on probably like 6 months. There's no reason to come back to it. We're getting Halo 5 in a couple months, a new dashboard, backwards compatibility, 12-man party chat. I have no reason to turn my PS4 on anymore.
And it's fucked up, man, because we have speculated before, and we have great ideas of where this console is going to go. And to a lot of people, it seems far-fetched. Like, you guys are crazy. You got the tinfoil hats on. But we've been there for the start. A lot of us have. And I've seen the measures and the effort that Microsoft has taken and put into the Xbox One. And it makes me think that, whoa, this thing could do this. What's on the horizon with Windows 10 DirectX is beyond a lot of people's ability to really reason within this gaming community. Like, we're on YouTube. Some people can go on Newegg and build computers and shit, but motherfucker, you are not smarter than the research and development team over at Microsoft. Like, the things that they've done with this console so far, it opens my mind to so many ideas now that before November 2013 I wouldn't have thought were possible. But I've been able to see this, and I've actually seen the steps that the Xbox One has taken and the amount of features they've added. And the fucking controller was, at one point, I don't think you could do this. I think it's all integrated into the system. But you can, update your fucking controller.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Little bitty things. And a lot of people are like, you're crazy. And they just haven't experienced it. They just have not experienced it. And there's some people who have an Xbox One, and you see them on YouTube, and they're just fucking stupid because they play that role of being a Sony fanboy, and they refuse to look at the features. Hell, look at GameSpot. Where the fuck is the settings at? Like, are you fucking kidding me? This should be something if you're going to be talking about this console, you have a due diligence. You have a duty to fucking make sure you understand everything that's going on with it, and that don't happen, man. So, yeah, people can say all they want about speculation, but I mean, I've seen what they've done, so I know what's going on.
That's an interesting point. I do want, and I know we've beat that settings thing with GameSpot into the ground, but I do want to say something. In anybody's field, okay, their field is a technical review company or technical evaluation of some sort, or even if it's just a technical user. The fact that you have somebody get on with your name and say, I can't find the settings button, let me tell you something, that discredits you. Right now, to me, GameSpot can give Halo a 10 or they can give Halo a 0. You are irrelevant. If you're actually an editor or you're any kind of person that's in charge over there and you let somebody get on, and you know what that tells me? That tells me you hired incompetence. That's what it tells me. How can you tell me you're a technical review company, you're being sent to Apple, the WWDC program, the E3s of the world, all these other things to talk about gadgets and gizmos, and you can't hit start and then down tune the settings? How the fucking, I mean, really, guys, imagine if, Consumer Reports was like, we were going to test out this new Tesla car, but we just couldn't find the button that said start. And you're like, well, fire that man because you're out of your mind. So, I mean, GameSpot, to anybody who ever copies, pastes, or uses anything they do, don't do that because you're just passing along. You might as well just pass along what I tweet out. Same thing, right? Just random tweet guy. Because to be honest with you, it's irrelevant when you're a technical company and you can't even provide basic service. That's
No, I agree with you, Mooch. GameSpot, they're completely irrelevant since the whole settings thing. And then on top of that, they're the ones who actually twisted Phil's words by, him talking about the console wars. Apparently, what we do is distasteful according to GameSpot. You know what I'm saying? They're the ones that are twisting the words, and I think they're pretty mad they're not really getting the hits that they used to back in the day. I don't think since, we exist, not that many Xbox fans are really going over to their sites anymore, man. I'm telling you.
I agree.
Yeah. Hey, I agree. Good stuff. Hey, one second. We're at about an hour and a half in, so I was going to kind of wrap. But I wanted to give you guys a chance to shout out yourselves and your channels and stuff before we close up. If you guys wanted to go ahead and do that.
Yeah. You know what it is? This is Blackie Lebowski. Check out the YouTube. We're on them four-wheelers. We're on dirt bikes. We're playing Xbox all day. Halo 5 is real, guys. This fucking fall is insane. It's fucking insane. Get hyped up. And make sure you stay out of trouble because I want all the Xbox guys to be playing Halo with me October 27th, man.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, this is Iron Wolf.
All right.
Add me on Xbox Live and keep it Xbox.
That's right, Blazing Phoenix. 360 on this, hurry up and upgrade. If you're a PS4 owner, sell your PS4. This thing ain't worth shit. Xbox all day.
Yeah, this is, great point, by the way, Blazing. I want to say shout out to all almost 2,600 subs on my YouTube channel. Thank you. I've got a couple videos coming out this weekend, and I'll be honest with you, if you haven't seen it, go check out my latest one on Console Wars. It's not just what you think it is. It's a little bit of what you think it is. It's a little bit of the media, and it's a little bit of Sony, and it's a little bit of the YouTubers. A lot of the YouTubers out there like to say that they don't want to be a part of the console war, but they discuss the console war. And one thing we didn't talk about tonight, which we don't have to beat a dead horse, but if you are discussing console wars on any type at all, if you even mention the words console war, you're a part of the console war. So thank you to all my subs, and Crap, thanks for having me on the show.
Expose, yeah, you're exposing,
Exposed.
man. You are. But I want to appreciate, say thank you guys. We had over 185 at the high point tonight, just on a random Thursday night, which is really cool, man. I appreciate you guys taking your time out to join me and talk about some gaming. Thank you guys in the audience for watching. Make sure you sub to all these guys because they all have really good channels. And Blazing Phoenix, I seen your video today, man. You weren't wearing the wife beater, the white one, man. What's up with that?
Like a lot of Sony fans say, I'm poor. Y'all got to give me some donations. So if you can give me $5, anything, help me in my financial situation to be good.
All right, man. And with that, we're out, man. Thanks for watching, man. We'll catch you guys next time. Later.
Peace.